This is Foolish Viceroy bringing you a 1v1 cast of Company of Heroes 3. We are here on Twin Beaches. Down here in the north, we've got Prabuty playing as the US Forces. And over here in the south, we've got Zuntew playing as the Deutsche Afrika Korps. Already coming out of the gate strong with Panzer Grenadiers, he is rushing towards the center. Here on the US Forces, we built a barracks and going engineers. Looks like he's already picked Armored Battle Group, and for Zuntew, he's picked Italian Combined Arms. So we could be seeing a lot of Bersaglieri running out on the field if he decides to go that route. Or we could see the Jeep meta, and here we go, Jeep meta coming up! America's favorite secret weapon, General Motors. Here we go. Americans are quickly capturing the fuel. Realizing very quickly that this fuel right here, as soon as nobody pays attention to it, it swings a lot of the game's fuel income in their favor. Here we go, the Jeep doing his job, really getting the early fuel as fast as possible.
It's our shit.
And we're back. Engineers doing the capping, scouts also doing the capping, doing his best to capture all the fuels as quickly as he can. Jeep rolling in, trying to stop the cap. He can't stop the cap, but he does try to push the Bersaglieri off and rolls in to try to decap this high munitions. This right here, center munitions of power. Both players going to want this munitions area of both armies.
Rifleman ready.
Go, first Rifleman squad has been built.
We've secured the point.
Capture complete, sir. Waiting on you.
Alright, it's not looking too bad. Both players are getting their first capture points. Looking like Zuntew has forgotten about his two fuels. They're not the high fuel. They're not the 10 plus fuel. But plus 5, they add up. Especially since he doesn't have the south fuel. So he's going to be running a little bit low on teching up. So if he goes an infantry heavy strategy, this probably won't affect him. But he is missing out on that fuel. Here we go. Engineers taking heavy fire. Red cover with the height bonus. Here we go. The American Jeep has parked right in front of him. This is a little takeout zone. And here we go. 250 rushes in, pushing both off. Upgraded his Panzer Pioneers with the flamethrowers. Got his early 250 out. Completely pushing back the entire American army despite the sandbags. Scouts trying their best to cap, but they're going to get forced off pretty soon. Here we go, 250 coming in behind. Zuntew is a master, it seems, of these envelope abilities. He's coming in around, making sure he can get both angles of attack. Here we go, Jeep trying to fend off the 250, but not really doing much damage ever since the penetration nerf. So it's not looking too good for the Americans. He's got to figure out a way to take care of this 250, and so he is, building Weapon Support Center with the Bazooka Squad. Hopefully this Bazooka Squad will be able to fend off that 250. Americans also building the Infantry Support Center. So he's going to get his first captain with the M1919 LMG on the field soon. Here we go. He's realizing the Bersaglieri coming up for his high fuel. It's going to be a bit of a struggle for Americans because while the Americans need the fuel, the DAC really don't. There's so much in the DAC roster that gives them vehicles without fuel. And so here we go. 250 of fire, absolutely just punishing the Americans. Trying to build mines right now on Prabuty's side.
Contact! German infantry! It's on, boys!
Jeep doing some camping, doing a little bit of combat. Oh, here we go. First volley of bazooka fire. Doing a lot of damage on the 250. Riflemen not looking too hot though, looking very unhealthy.
Jesus H. Christ!
And they're rolling out, they're getting out of there. Getting out of dodge. Bazooka Squad's trying to find the 250, but the 250 is way too fast for them. Panzer Pioneers and the Bersaglieri in this multi-story house gonna be able to push them back out. We got the bare minimum of American firepower pushing up against these infantry. They're not gonna be able to do much, and the Jeep's gotta get out and prepare. Here we go. Mine has been triggered. One of the 2 mines. It looks like Prabuty's built 2 mines. And quickly replacing it to own this road. He doesn't want to lose this cutoff. He knows if he loses his cutoff, he's going to lose all his fuel. So he'd rather lose 1 fuel than all fuel. So he's got that covered. He's paying a lot of close attention, though, to these VPs, though. There we go. Dak have returned back to base, doing a little bit of quick repairs with his infantry. The Italians definitely don't have any anti-tank snares or ability to repair, so they are standing there, you know, waiting for orders, waiting for their German brother-in-arms to lead them in the battle. So they're, I guess they're healing up. Yeah, there we go. They've got their natural sprinting ability for this battle group for Saglieri, so they're going to be rushing into the battle pretty soon. Here we go. Jeep forcing off the Panzer Pioneer. Doesn't want to take any chances. Doesn't want to lose his only flamethrower squad. There we go. Americans pushing back into the fight. Captain making himself known, but the MG-34, quickly suppressing him. He's going to want to get out of there. Captain goes down immediately in a blaze of glory. That's all she wrote. Jeep doing a pretty good job up here, trying to, doing a little bit of a weird parking maneuver, but he's captured the Muni up here. Notice this southern fuel that I mentioned at the beginning, very easily neglected because it's so far out of combat. Unless both players are struggling over this bottom VP, it's going to get quickly forgotten. So right now, both players have quickly figured out that the top is the most valuable place to fight over. Here we go, 250. Not taking any chances, knowing that bazooka squad is laying around. It's amazing, 1 bazooka squad is enough to completely zone out the 250. So the truck is pretty much free to drive around and help recap some things. Engineer sitting in the bushes, trying to get the high fuel back. That is a huge fuel loss for the Americans, especially after Zuntew has captured the double fuels on his side. Here we go, first Greyhound, despite the fuel. First Greyhound has entered the field. Vet 1, because of the armored battle group. He's picked veteran crews. So this Greyhound's already going to be doing some major shock value damage. 250s crawled back onto the field after its repairs, but if he's not careful, that Greyhound's going to go chasing him. Here we go. Saglieri running into the red building, hoping for cover, but now they're trapped. MG-34 doing its best to relieve the pressure by trying to fire on the rifleman, but the green cover is going to protect the rifleman while the motor barrages this MG. Greyhound playing it safe, doesn't know what Dak has, but looks like Dak has just gotten their first call-in. They can get their periodic call-ins, but Zuntew has called in his first, and it's an AT gun with his brave, shirtless German soldiers waiting for that Greyhound to overextend, and once he does, it could be a big shot. North VP falling again to American control. Throws a grenade. They dodge. Bazooka's not so lucky. Desperate for the VP, even though it doesn't really need it, considering he has 2 already. Prabuty's pushing in with the mortars, taking the decap and building a medical station so he can get his troop healed up. Medical's going to be good if he's got all this infantry going on. Could see the same thing for Zuntew, but as long as this 250 is alive, he doesn't need to go build a medical half-track. He can just he can toggle the medical ability on this half-track and not have to build anything additional. Which is great. It's a timed ability, but for the most part, it should keep his troops alive. It's going a very infantry-heavy strategy right now for Zuntew. He's building his first armor vehicle, getting his Dak Black half-track. Penetration on this thing is huge, and it can suppress. It's a bit of a jack of all trades. A bit strong, if you ask me. Greyhound peeking through the bushes. Driving around. He's doing a little bit of reconnaissance, but he's not finding anything. He's not doing much. Engineers trying to get the high fuel, trying to deny the Dak their fuel. For such a... Oh, he doesn't get the decap. Retreats a little early. Zuntew controlling most of that. He's got a new target for his Greyhound, but the Greyhound takes a huge hit from the AT gun. Massive hits. Bullet holes poking through the entire chases. There we go. Black half-track pushing in. suppresses the bazooka squad immediately. They can't do a thing. Throws a grenade. They're already out of there. This truck, Vet 1 can cap as much as he wants, but right now there's too much going on the front line. He can't do much. He's forced to sit and watch and be relegated to a combat role, which, after the latest nerfs, not that much of a combat unit. Not very strong. Go. Great harassment on Zuntew's part. Zuntew playing as the Deutsche Afrika Corps. He's figured out that Americans really need their fuel. That fuel feels like a light snack for them. They could live without the fuel, but Americans, they need the fuel bad. Especially if he's gonna go heavy in armor. And here we go, we've already got our second Greyhound. Rushed onto the field. The original one's still being repaired at base, so the Greyhound sort of not sure what to do with himself. Getting zoned out by these DAC AT guns. Go, trying to build more mines, but not working with these riflemen. With the upgraded MGs on these Panzer Grenadiers, it's not looking good for these riflemen. He's gonna want something a little bit stronger to take care of them, and that's what the two Greyhounds are for. Here we go. Greyhounds pushing off the Bersaglieri. Jeep doing his best to make sure all this stuff is under American control. Past his prime now. There you go, massive base over here. Look at this. Incredible group. Peppering the Bersaglieri on retreat. There we go. And Americans healing up back at base, trying to poke the top, but it's not gonna look good. His motor's a little far out to do any real damage. These two Greyhounds, as soon as they get... Yep, there we go. One heck is all it takes to send a Greyhound going back. Captain falls in the yellow smoke. AT gun easily dodges it. Captain's forced to retreat. Greyhound's doing some good infantry damage, but they're forced to retreat too because of this one AT gun. As soon as two get up on the field, then these Greyhounds are going to be in a real tight bit of trouble. Go. Looks like we've got the missing American command officer, a little observation officer for the Jeep, a little upgrade that gives him a little bit of recon.
We've got to fall back!
Greyhound's taking a huge amount of damage. Bazooka's standing out in the middle of the open, losing infantry models on the way. Prabuty locked back into his base. Or rather, his main manpower cut off. He knows if he loses this, he loses everything in the north, so he's guarding this with everything he's got, which is not a lot. So he's going for the advanced logistics upgrade. And advanced logistics is going to make sure his infantry squad's reinforced from way less. Should give him the advantage in terms of manpower trades, but man, the deck's very aggressive. Fires right through the trees with the AT gun. Black half track, way up in the front, firing with impunity. Oof! Runs right into those mines. Those mines really happened. That right there's a gold spot for the Americans for mines. What's this mortar doing? Mortar's not that one yet. Hasn't had a lot of combat. It's certainly drawing off the rapidly mobile deck. Zuntew better be careful. He's already down to half of his VPs, his victory points. Has captured the bottom though. And still, this bottom fuel is still uncontested. I told you, this, here we go, grenade. On retreat. This fuel right here, this one is so important. I mean, well, not important, but easily neglected, rather. Here we go. Two Greyhounds coming in to attack this bottom, but one AT gun quickly sends both of them back. I don't know about this. The double Greyhounds, strong against infantry, but here we go. Catches the Panzer Pioneers as they're laying down a mine. Loses 3 models. Huge. Meanwhile, the Jeep, while he has the capping ability, and the captain, he's played it safe, which I don't know if that's the best move, seeing as all of this is easy to contest. And by not contesting anything in the north, he's giving Zuntew plenty of time to build up his forces here in this the valley here.
Patched up.
Where the hell did they come from? Son of a bitch!
Rifleman quickly getting pinned down on retreat. Looks like he's moved his medical truck way up in the front. He finally built one after losing both 250s. Lots of mines everywhere, so the Greyhounds can't even push through there. Huge Italian assault pushing the captain back. Where are the riflemen? Riflemen are still on retreat. Greyhounds sitting on top of their own mine, not doing much. Here we go, they get peppered by these AT guns. They're not doing much. Go scouts. Trying to hold this victory point, but they're not going to be able to hold against this, these MG-wielding troops. Ooh, here we go. Dak Flak half-track coming in to attack. Sending them scurrying back home. However, he does have the advanced logistics and the medical tent, so the manpower losses aren't too bad for Prabuty, but he is, the infantry kills are starting to stack up. And here we go, first Caro Amato. Looks like Italian combined arms, he's gone all in on the right side of the tree to make sure he can get all of these Caro Amatos, and with Caro Amatos, it's never just one. There's always more than one, and if he decides to go that way, he may try to spam it in response to the double Greyhounds. Here we go. Americans doing a big push here in the south. Not quite sure why when the top is under so much pressure. Here we go, Caro Amato coming in to draw pressure on the Greyhounds. Double Greyhounds zoning out the Caro Amato, but the AT gun can't quite get the angle because of the hill. Captain decides to join the fight for a second on the Jeep, but quickly realizes he doesn't want any of that smoke. There we go, the real American captain down here in the south draws in yellow smoke, but a little bit too late to retreat. He tries to run. Can he make it? Mortar shoots the assassin, but one stray Kar 98 shot assassinates the good captain. Meanwhile, MG fired, Caro Amato fired. This entire valley here completely bathed in blood. Riflemen have their bar upgrades. This looks like Prabuty's gone for the double bars on just one of his squads, but it's looking like the DAC are a surprisingly strong mix of static units and mobile vehicles. Very infantry heavy, but he's managing. Meanwhile, this medical truck parked inside of this little barn. Making sure you can reinforce on the front. And here we go. Siamese Greyhounds rolling back up to the top. Trying to find another angle of attack. Zuntew has figured out that he's how valuable this little fuel is overlooking the beach. Setting up mines. Spending 60 munitions on mines only to find out how quickly that they get discovered. Engineer tries to disarm them in the middle of fire and hellstone and brim, but good lord. The engineer against engineer quickly fired away. Looks like he disabled one mine, so oh man, he's doing a little bit of yoga there, but he knows about those mines now. And here we go. First tank depot is out from Prabuty. He's building his AT guns. He's trying to make sure that his AT guns can zone out the Caro Amatos, because he knows that if he sees one, there's going to be more. And sure enough, the second one enters the field, coming in just below the speed limit. Complete neglecting the road. Roads. We don't need roads. We don't need roads in Italy. Here we go. Double Greyhounds. Ooh! Complete wipe of the Panzer Pioneers, who spent way too much time in enemy territory building barbed wire. Good catch from Prabuty. Caro Amato wants blood, he wants revenge, but he knows that if he overextends, he could be done for, especially if he hits a mine. He doesn't know what he's set up. So Zuntew quickly scurs out. Rifleman meeting him on the retreat, but while this would be the perfect time for an anti-tank grenade, looks like they don't have any. It looks like Prabuty's saving all his fuel for vehicles, looking for tanks. Meanwhile, massive DAC push coming in through the north. Huge attack. Thank you, Havoc, for the raid.
Send a runner!
Ammunitions point is being attacked.
Here we go. And Jeep gets destroyed. One shot from the AT gun.
Now under enemy control.
Siamese Greyhounds repairing, not doing any good. Meanwhile, the DAC has captured all of the north. 2 Caro Amados with the flak half-track. Three Caro Amados. The Italian war machine quickly stacking up. Americans only have 2 Siamese Greyhounds. They're not doing much. They're roving around in their pairs, but here we go. Pushing in, unsupported. Could get the snare off. Snare does go off, but only shocks him. Doesn't destroy the engine. Caro Amato backing off. Sees the bazookas. Massive American push. Trying to get the north back in order. This poor fuel constantly getting decapped by the Bersaglieri. Siamese Greyhounds trying to do their best to zone out the Bersaglieri, but doesn't do it fast enough. They get inside the building. Scouts rushing in for the BP, but not looking both ways, getting shot down both sides of the street. Quickly realizing the mistake, he's trying to retreat. Hopefully he doesn't get wiped on retreat. Bersaglieri decide they've done enough damage to back out. Riflemen running into flak half-track. It's not looking good for them. They're quickly getting suppressed. One Greyhound completely lost by the double AT guns. He's gonna need T or something stronger, because right now the Americans have nothing to answer for these Caro Amados. They've got the 2 AT guns, but with all the advancing infantry, they don't have enough to stop the blobs. They've got nothing. The only thing stopping him from stopping Zuntew from a massive overhaul of his top is having to go back and repair his Caro Amados. Here we go. Not quite the right choice in mind. Going for the M4 Sherman bulldozer to try to take care of the infantry, but not enough going on to take out these Caros. He's lucky that these Caros are having to repair right now, but here we go. Rifleman against Panzer Grenadier. Double grenades. Panzer Grenadiers back off, but the Riflemen own this hill.
Under fire! Small arms!
Right now, Bersaglieri have been upgraded with their Bredas. Americans with their double bars. Unfortunately, at that stage, they're both pretty much the same DPS, and the winner's always going to go to who has most models. Here we go, narrowly dodging a mortar strike. Owning this fuel, really sticking it to the Americans. Bulldozer comes up to the north to try to help, but looks like he's missed the party. He's shown up late to the party. Coming in. Here we go. Big strikes on the building. But these double 1 AT guns, just enough to bring it to nearly a third of his health. Or take away a third of his health, rather.
Repair and refit at once.
MG setting up.
Heavy MG!
Shoots him right through the bushes. He's got that keen German eyesight. Bazookas running up ahead. Now these bazookas usually can't do anything against infantry and team weapons, but now that the Vet 1, at least Vet 2, they can fire the white phosphorus rocket, which they've backed up into. Going straight for the BP. Right now, at this stage of the game, 23 minutes in, both players realize it's a rush for the VPs. Americans going all in. Greyhound going in first. Could get the wipe on the Bersaglieri. Misses the shot. Pesky tree blocks his vision. Hits the mine right in the center. All those mines finally paying off for Zuntew. AT gun trying to get a little aggressive. Realizing that there's no infantry to support, he's completely moved his front line. Here we go, bazooka's pushing in. Americans are going to own this entire top, but he doesn't need to. He owns the top right. He owns the bottom VPs. He has the VP advantage, but it looks like he's going all in. He's decided he won't settle for anything less than a total victory. So he's pushing in. The entire American army rushing in. Mine gets detonated. No damage, though. Double AT guns setting up. Barely seeing the Caro. It looks like the other Caros have seen blood. The other Greyhound sitting there getting pellets of white phosphorus. Completely blown up. Americans' last vehicle is this Sherman bulldozer against Caro Amados and the flak half-track and the AT guns. It's not looking good. Americans are losing everything. Riflemen getting completely shot up on retreat. We've got 2 low-health riflemen. One man, both getting shot up. Smoking away. And smoked. Bathed in a little river of blood.
Taking losses!
Americans are sticking around way too long. Complete loss of everything. All his infantry units, both AT guns, completely caught out of position by Zuntew. Zuntew, realizing how overextended Prabuty was, took advantage of the situation, and that's it. Prabuty wins, has not won. It's thrown in the towel. Zuntew takes the game. Incredible game. Looks like Prabuty really did overextend there. I think if he had followed, if he had stayed back in his northeast and southern VPs, he could have maybe held out, because I think his aggression cost him the game. As soon as he pushed both AT guns up, that was his only AT. That was like, he didn't have any Hellcats, he didn't have anything else. As soon as he lost both of those, I mean, that was just cherry on top of the sundae. But anyways, that's my first 1v1 cast of Company of Heroes 3. If you like, please hit that follow button. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the raid, Havoc. Thank you very much. And hopefully if I can get some more replays, I might try this again sometime soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.